Ipek, record highs for Broadcom, Marvell Technology, and this week for Meta Platforms, Apple, Alphabet, Tesla. The names continue. What inning are we in your view, when it comes to this mega cap tech bull run?
Well, absolutely. Well, good news keep coming in, and they actually fund this rally and extend the rally. They do justify the extension of the rally. For Broadcom, for example, well, they actually announced a revenue growth for the AI business of 220%. They are looking for a 65% growth in their revenue in the first quarter. And those are the big numbers that we are used to, that we like, especially in the AI and technology stocks. So that's actually giving a boost to the companies and to Broadcom today. Well, we are also very much impressed by Broadcom's projection of a boom in their AI business, especially the custom AI chips in the next few years. That actually fits exactly right in the middle of this narrative that's unfolding right now, that the big technology companies are actually building their own chips. So that means that there are going to be users and they're going to be winners. So we expect to see still a little change of the scenery when 2025 begins.
Okay, you mentioned there will be winners and there will be losers. Let's start with the losers. Who are they going to be?
I mean, I don't want to say losers, but Nvidia is not smiling today, and they are right, because we're now in this narrative of big technology companies, which actually made up to 50% of its revenue last quarter, trying to build their own chips. So we're talking about Amazon with their Trainium chips. Google came out with its own. I mean, everybody is up now building their own chips in order to, well, cost efficiency reasons. So this means that Nvidia will have to replace these big technology companies by other customers. Now, we know that Jensen Huang didn't look worried at all up until now, but that's still a red flag.
So are you saying that folks who have ridden this high for Nvidia should be thinking about getting out at some point soon?
Well, I wouldn't say that right now, because these worries of big technology companies that will start slowing their spending has not materialized just yet. Because earlier this week, we had TSM's sales numbers for November, and they actually announced a 34% growth in their sales in November, which actually continues to back this narrative of robust AI demand for Nvidia's chips. But it is a certainty that this high concentration of big technology companies in their client book is something to be watched.
Okay, we know you mentioned Nvidia, not a company that should be smiling today. Broadcom, certainly one that is. What are the other names that you're bullish on going into 2025?
Well, AMD is not smiling today, but we actually like AMD for one particular reason. It is the fact that AMD proposes cost-efficient, more affordable, but very efficient chips, and that could actually be interesting for those sectors and companies who do not necessarily want the most premium chips out there, but who want good chips still for, doing their day-to-day task with AI, and that's going to be very interesting. We think that there is an opportunity window for AMD to get into this race more seriously and, well, question the Nvidia's, or eat a part of Nvidia's cake in the coming years.
A lot of the exuberance around AI has certainly focused on the chip companies, but what if we move beyond those chip companies? Who else do you see as winners when it comes to this boom in AI?
Well, actually, we see, for example, we see all the clients as winners, because they are going to get an important part of their important efficiency and cost efficiencies in this process. So this is obviously one thing, and this is why this whole thing is happening. But we're also looking very closely to what's happening in the energy sector, and we think that the nuclear power providers are going to be in a good position to benefit from the AI rally, given that it's clear right now that the alternative energy sources like wind and solar are not going to offer enough scalability actually for satisfying all these exponentially rising energy demands.
Nuclear power is so capital intensive to develop, especially here in the United States, where we've only had a couple new generators come online over the last couple of decades. Who do you think can pull this off in the next few years, or are we talking like a generational shift here?
Well, yes, you're right. It has been controversial as well. So it's here in Europe as well. We have been closing the nuclear plants and not to the contrary. But this year we have started seeing the mentality change a little bit, especially when big technology companies started announcing that they are going to be interested in using nuclear power instead of, well, using fossil fuel or fossil. Well, actually, Exxon also was saying that they are going to offer gas-powered plants to big technology companies. That's going to be built very in half time, like in 5 years, and they're going to offer these companies an off-the-grid energy source. But at the end of the day, when we are talking about tackling the climate change and offering an alternative and clean energy source, well, today, nuclear looks like the only plausible option that could satisfy our increasing and exponentially increasing needs.